My name is Montinaro. I've been a community councillor in Falkirk for the last 11 years. We're here at the Dart Energy site. This is Lethem Moss in Falkirk. We're in the heart of Scotland. You can see the beautiful Forth Valley with the Ochil surrounding. They're going for the first commercial production of methane in the whole of Scotland, but the whole of the UK actually. So this is one of their sites. They've actually admitted to us at a couple of meetings that there will be a minimum of 100 like this in this area, and this is just a small area in what is a licence area of 330 kilometres squared. So just a small area in comparison to the full area of the licence.
How did you find out about Dart's plans for the area?
I actually went along to a meeting last June of Friends of the Earth in Stirling, and they explained what, and I didn't know only the basics about unconventional gas. They explained what unconventional gas was and how it's a new industry in terms of the extraction process. And I was horrified at what I was hearing, and I thought I needed to find out more. And when I looked on the internet and saw in other areas of the world like Canada, USA and Australia, the evidence for the environmental damage and the cost to populations living side by side with this industry, I thought as a community councillor, this is not something which is acceptable to be happening here. This is the first site of its kind in terms of commercial production. This has just been exploratory and pilot testing up to this point now. This will be the first commercial production in Scotland and indeed the whole of the UK. So it will be the precedent. If it's passed here, then it'll roll out across the country. I come from a community, Shield Hill in California, in the Braes, not actually in the licence area. But we are an ex-coal mining community and we face the same prospect. So we are going around at the villages there, California and Shield Hill, 1,400 inhabitants, and we're asking to see if we can support Kinnaird and the Inchers as well. It's not just one community, it's the whole of the area. It's happening everywhere, and this is the problem. People don't realise the scale of this industry and how it's going to impact a very, very highly populated island. Where do we go? Facts need to come out. People need to be aware of the facts. When they have the whole information, when they see what's happening abroad, in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, these are all democratic countries, but how is it that people can be polluted living in their own homes and suffer the consequences? And once that information is available to communities and they have proper information to make considered judgments and decisions, then this can be stopped. But until people are aware of that, and until our leaders acknowledge this and actually look at the evidence that's emerging now, scientific evidence which supports communities who have been saying for a long time that we are suffering here, then the right decision can be made and we can stop this industry.
And can I just ask you lastly, are you aware of any campaigns, community campaigns globally or nationally that have been able to stop this kind of development, and how do you feel about that? Well,
they've been very successful in Australia, Lismore community, Fulton Cove. They've managed to establish the 2-kilometre ban, and we hope that'll be enforced here, because they want to do this in areas which are the most popular. The central belt of Scotland has the highest density of population in the whole of Scotland, and they're wanting to do this side by side with communities, and it's not compatible.
And how do you feel about the fact that Dart and Met Gasco have been chased out of New South Wales, and Dart are now saying they're concentrating all their efforts on Scotland and Britain? Very
concerned that Dart are pulling out of Australia to concentrate on the UK, because they see the governments here as for this industry without knowing the consequences and without having the scientific evidence to prove that it's safe to the communities where it's going to happen.
And despite the communities not being for it. So
that's right.
Do you think community resistance, community power can win this?
Absolutely. Absolutely believe that the communities, if people know what's going on, they will stand up and they will be able to force the leaders to decide that this isn't for for our communities and for the future of Falkirk or Scotland.
And if the leaders fail us, do you think the community can find the strength and power and resilience to beat this up by themselves?
I hope so. I hope we can, as communities and as people standing up with one voice, say no to this industry, because the future with this industry doesn't bear thinking about.
To know why people are taking photographs and what they're up to, just to make sure that everyone's above board.
Just a record.
Yeah, they have concerns obviously because there's potential terrorist actions and things like that. So absolutely, I've no doubt about that whatsoever.
Are you involved with any of the sort of objections informally, or is it okay if we get out your details just to say who we spoke to when we come here? Is that okay?
As long as you don't lock us up, we're fine.
I can't see that happening. I think you'll be fine.